right? So judge each day not by the harvest you reap, again, like we said, but by the seeds you plant, right? If we minimize our social connections, right? It will minimize our social connections and minimize the degree to which we open ourselves up to our workmates. It will minimize a certain kind of trouble at work, right? So, and some people do that. Like I say, I was sharing with a friend of mine. I believe last weekend was sharing, and it was like because a lot of issues going on in the office. She was saying that, oh, maybe the best thing is not to be too personal, in the office place, And I said, yes, you might get away from the troubles by being less personal in the workplace, but you're also going to lose a lot of things. You're also going to lose a lot of things, a lot of benefits we can get from other people, just talking, just relating, just laughing together, and I enjoy it. It fills my tank, uh, it fills my tank, just to relate, to connect, and it does for everybody because we're human beings. Human beings are built for connection. They are built for relationship, right? And again, when you do that for someone else, you never know where you will need it. You are sowing seeds in someone else's life. If you help that other person to be seen, help that other person to be heard, help that other person to be valued. You never know where that person is. You're going to need that person also. You never know where your path will cross one another other than where you are today, right? A lot of people that I employed, I mentored, I trained, but this is 15 years after, right? They don't need me in that way anymore. I pretty much, in a sense, need them for some things, right? They've grown, right? But the respect they have for me is the history we have together, and we have a smooth relationship, right? I'm close to the door of leaving the company, and I see I have years in front of them. The respect they're able to give is because of the history we have together. When they could not do anything, I did not abuse the opportunity, right? I created the opportunity for them to be seen, to be heard, and to be valued. And today they feel indebted to return the same favor. I did not do it then because of what I was looking for. I just did it because of being human. Just being human. Just being human. Right? Just being human. That's all. You don't sow seeds because you want to get something. You sow seed because that's just what makes sense to do. Right? That's just a natural uh part of life. Yes, you're going to get the harvest, but you're not selfishly focused on the harvest. You're doing everything you're doing out of pure love, right? Out of pure love. That's important, right? It's not just important to connect with people, to relate with people the way we do it. It's also very important. The attitude with which we do it is also very important. We don't relate with people because we need something tomorrow. We relate with people because of love, just out of a heart of love, because we care, because we care. That's important. It's not because of what I want to get tomorrow, even though it's going to guarantee what I will get tomorrow. But why I do it has to come from a heart of love, a heart of caring, right? Otherwise, it would not be an accepted sacrifice. Otherwise, people are gonna see the funny through it, right? So it's important to connect, even though it might cause some trouble, but what is life without trouble? What is life without contention? What is life without opposition? Right? Life is risky, but we're not gonna avoid life because of risk. We need to manage the risk of life. Because I relate with people might mean that more people will know about me, more people might want to take me for granted, but that is no excuse not to relate. That is a risk. It's a risk of life. We manage the risk, but we have to leave. If you run away from the risk, you stop living, right? But if we can potentially open up new avenues of trouble, indicating feelings of disconnections and but so when we relate to people, it just opens the sphere of possibilities in our relationship. And that's important. That's important. We don't run away from trouble in life. We manage the issues of life. We manage the issues of life. Even this morning at one of my alumni's WhatsApp group, uh, our president sent something that was kind of, for some people, felt offensive. We'll manage it. We're all humans. We're going to make mistakes, right? We're going to say some things which will mean what one way, but it's going to come out the other way to other people. We're going to manage it. We're going to make corrections. We're going to cancel ourselves and we'll move forward. We'll get better by it. We take it for what it is. We respond out of love. We settle in love and we all get better by it, right? Our humanity is going to come out, but we're not going to we're going to assume right intent even when our humanity comes up, and we're going to address it in love, and together we're going to grow and get better. So with each major transition, it never hurts to step back and reassess our new lives from a bird's eye view, right? How are my relationships in the work world and beyond being affected by the current change? As changes take place in our life, an unexamined life is not a life. It's a life. It's not a life that's worth living. Every now and then we need to assess our life. How am I doing? Am I progressing? Am I retrogressing? Am I becoming a better person? Am I getting lost? Am I responding well to the issues of life? Am I relating rightly? Uh, we get to examine our life every now and then, and make the right corrections, learn the right lessons, as we do that. I get to do that all the time. Well, I guess part of maturity. It's part of my learnings doing all of this. All of this, I get to see different aspects and I have to practice it, internalize it in my life also. But we need to examine our lives, examine our relationships in the workplace. Are they appropriate? Are they within the boundaries they should be? As much as we're talking about relating, we need to respect one another. We need to have healthy boundaries, healthy and functional boundaries, even in our relationship. There are things there are things I must not do with a married woman or with a married man, right? There are things I should not do with the opposite sex, right? As much as I love people, I have to respect who they are. I have to respect their family, their status, and but at the same time, doesn't mean I will not relate, but we need to understand the right boundaries. We need to also ensure that no one is speaking the wrong message in our relating. What might mean one thing to me, I need to be sure it's not meaning something else to someone else, right? As much as I cannot control it, right? I need to make sure that I'm not intentionally giving the wrong message in my relationship, right? So there's a need to examine our lives, examine our relationship, and make sure that it's in line with our goals, our target, our vision, and who we represent as a person, right? So we ask, are there choices I can make to maintain connections with people who are important to me? Are there new opportunities for connection here that I am missing? So we're asking ourselves different questions as we go along. How are my relationships in the work world and beyond being affected by the current change or issues around my life? Are there choices I can make to maintain my connections with people who are important to me? Are there new opportunities for connection that I'm missing, right? But important thing is that we're making the right connections, we're making the right relationship, with one another, allowing each other to be heard, allowing each other to be seen, and allowing each other to be valued. That we're not looking down on anybody, right? We're allowing each other to be seen, to be heard, to be valued, irrespective of who that person is, irrespective of what I can gain or not gain from the person. I respect people just for being human, right?